Hello Rat fans, happy Christmas! I hope you're having a lovely day with your close friends, family or alone, whatever it is. I hope you're having a nice time if possible. As a lovely Christmas gift to thank you so much for your support over this turbulent year, we are giving you a free stand-up special which you can watch on YouTube, full video for free without ads. Or you can listen to on the podcast feed with ads, which will at least give us a tiny amount of Christmas money to spend on the New Year sales of podcast equipment. We are hoping to make a feature film in 2026, so every listen to the podcast will help us get a budget for that. But anyway, Happy Now is my 12th stand-up show. What year was it from? I don't know. It was some time ago. Maybe 2015. I don't remember anything about it. I know that I've got about 400 copies of the DVD, so this is a really stupid thing to give it away for nothing. But if you want to buy the DVD, that would be lovely. But I mean, who does? Who wants DVDs these days? No one, as it turns out. I don't remember much about the show, but this is what it says on the back. After years of drifting aimlessly and alone, Richard Herring is now settled down with a wife and a tiny baby. It's still working. Is he finally happy now, or does responsibility for the lives of others come with its own terrors? In his 12th solo stand-up show, Richard examines whether we can ever hope to be or are meant to be truly content. If we are never unhappy, would happiness have any meaning? Why do our brains force us to envision the worst possible outcomes even on a day when everything seems fine? How likely is it that Richard Herring's baby will be skewered by a stalactite of frozen urine falling from a plane? Luckily not happened yet. And is it really worth him wasting his time thinking about it? Does being happy mean a comedian loses his edge and true belly laughs only come from depression? Is there any system that will guarantee us eternal bliss? Or should we just embrace the fact that life is a vale of tears and our only option is to laugh in its face? Recorded at St David's Hall in Cardiff, a massive venue. It's the biggest audience of my career up to that point. Lots of extras on the DVD if you want to go and buy the DVD from gofasterstripe.com. But why would you? It's free online. If you like this, come and see a show, richardherring.com/Rahalastapa. Come and see me do stand-up. I will be working on my new show, Oh Shit, I'm 60, over the next couple of years. So it'd be lovely to see you at one of those. Or just tell your friends about the podcast or about this video and let them make up their own minds about whether I'm any good. Anyway, gofasterstripe.com for all your download and book needs. Do support them. They're an absolutely fantastic endeavour. Have a lovely Christmas. Have a podcast-free New Year. No, listen to my podcast. And we will see you in 2026 with more exciting new things. Oh my God! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Richard Herring! Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, Cardiff. Fantastic to be here. Thank you so much for coming. Lovely to see you all. This is the most people I've ever had at any gig I've ever done. So you're record breakers. Norris McWhirter's coming on in a second. He's not in such good shape. So welcome to the show. It's called Happy Now. They told me the birth of my daughter would be the happiest day of my life, and I believed them. I thought it'd be magical. I thought this tiny human being connecting the past to the future. Proof of my fecund godlike powers of creativity. But I have to say, from start to finish, the birth of my daughter was the most horrific day of my life. Whoever said it was the happiest day of their life clearly hated their partner and wanted to see them in horrendous pain. I love my wife. Well, I did a year ago. And I still do. I don't want to see her being hurt. Robbie Williams said that watching his wife give birth was like watching his favourite pub burn down. I don't know what that says about Robbie Williams' attitude to his wife, or vaginas in general.
Or more importantly, his favourite pub. What's going on in Robbie Williams' pub that it's anything like his wife's nether regions? It's weird. I mean, the pub's not destroyed, Robbie. It's maybe closed for a month for renovations. You can still drink there, that's my point. So I would say that watching my wife give birth was like watching someone I loved very dearly being tortured internally for 14 hours by someone that I also loved, even though I'd never met them, so I couldn't punch them in the face. It was horrible right from the start. I knew the end bit was going to be grisly. I didn't realise how awful it was all the way through. My wife was already in a lot of discomfort. Our daughter had kept us waiting for a week. She was a week overdue. My wife was willing her to come out. I was hoping she'd hang on a little bit longer so we could watch the season premiere of The Walking Dead, which she did, conveniently. It was very kind of her. It was about an hour after that finished, the contractions began, and my wife was immediately in quite serious pain. Right at the beginning. This was long before a tiny human being had tried to corkscrew its way out of her genitalia. Now, it's my understanding from the Bible that God increased women's pain in childbirth as a punishment for Eve eating the apple from the tree of life, which, that's interesting for a few reasons, isn't it? Firstly, God increased the pain in childbirth. So it was going to hurt a bit anyway, regardless of how Eve behaved. She could have not eaten the apple, not touched it, lived a good and holy life. Childbirth would still have hurt a bit, which is weird, isn't it? Because God invented childbirth from scratch. He created it. It didn't have to hurt at all. It could have just been a microwave door opening, ping, the baby comes out on a spring. It could have just been a pick and grab machine from an arcade. That's your baby. It didn't have to hurt. So it's interesting that he decided to make it hurt at all and then increased the pain for this arbitrary reason. Secondly, God must have known that Eve would eat the apple from the tree of life because he created human beings with curiosity, so she was just following the program that he'd set in motion. That at best is apple-based entrapment. Thirdly, God needed Eve to eat the apple from the tree of life for the rest of the story to work. If she hadn't eaten the apple, then all the Bible would be God spying on two naked people in a garden, which is still a good book. I'm not knocking it. It's just a different book. God comes out of that less well, I would say. Fourthly, why are all women punished for Eve eating the apple from the tree of life? That's very sexist, because one woman does something wrong, all women to blame. Come on, that's not on. My wife never ate the apple from the tree of life. She doesn't even particularly like apples. I think she'd have turned her nose up if she'd been given the chance. If it had been a mango, she'd have had a go. That's the kind of woman we're dealing with. So why are all women punished? And why aren't men punished? Because Adam also ate the apple from the tree of life. He did it second. I think that's worse than eating it first. And you go, oh, you've had some, well, I'll have some as well. That's pathetic. Men should be punished more, if anything. Maybe every time men get an erection, their balls should explode. That would be about equal. So it's a very sexist beginning, misogynist beginning to the Bible. God sort of set this thing in motion. Basically, he doesn't like women right from the start. Even before he's invented them, he created them, and then he still hates them. And he did that. He knew what he was doing. He's very misogynist. He's very much the world's first troll, isn't he? And he's a victim blamer. He's going, oh, she was walking around in the garden with no clothes on. She was asking for it. You made her like that. What's wrong with you? You're crazy. It's a very old-fashioned attitude, God. It's because a woman's wearing a fig leaf. That doesn't mean anything in this day and age. So anyway, my wife got into the bath because that helps ease the pain of contractions. I went downstairs to get her a glass of water. I'm a nice guy. And checked the bags were packed. When I got back up to the bedroom, I was aware this was going to be a sleep-deprived couple of days at the start of a sleep-deprived couple of decades. So I thought it'd be a good idea if I got some sleep. That was my plan. I thought that would... Very thoughtful, that would help out. So I'd be fresh for the birth. That's an important... Wouldn't be too tired. I have to say, it was very difficult to sleep, though, because my mind was whirring about everything that was going on. My wife was making a lot of noise in the bathroom. I have to say, it was very, very inconsiderate. We're trying to sleep out here. God, also, though, a very weird smell had suddenly appeared in the bedroom. It hadn't been there 5 minutes before. It just had suddenly drifted in and out. It was like a very fecal smell had permeated the bedroom, and it was not my feces. I would have recognised. But I couldn't work out where it had come from. It hadn't been there 5 minutes before. What was happening? Now, I've heard that sometimes women can evacuate their bowels during birth, but that's later on in the birth, surely. In any case, my wife was in the bathroom, so it couldn't have been her. I've heard that sometimes husbands can go through sympathetic labour symptoms, but was it possible that I'd shat myself and somehow not notice myself? I managed to shit myself with the smell of someone else's shit. Is that Is that how far the sympathy goes, that your poo turns into Rory Bremner's, can start doing I don't know if that's... But was it possible that the baby had done a shit that had worked its way out as an exploratory probe, just testing... I don't know I couldn't work out what was... Or was it just an imaginary smell? Was this a psychosis? Was I conjuring this up out of my brain? Because I've been very worried about the whole excrement element of having a baby. That had been one of the things changing nappies, dealing with someone else's effluent. I hadn't been looking forward to that. It's one of the things that put me off having a baby. Was it possible that those fears had manifested themselves together to create this smell out of like a ghost of poo future, in a scatological version of A Christmas Carol? This isn't really part of the show, but every time I get to this bit, I think more about that. I'd quite like to see that, a poo version of A Christmas Carol. The ghosts of poo past, that would be a lot of poo, wouldn't it? That would be... I mean, if it's even just your own, it would be kind of fascinating to see how much poo that was. That would be... that's quite an impressive amount of ghosts of poo future. I mean, that would be concerning if it was just a couple of poos. That would be the ghosts of poo present. I think that's when you fart and follow through. That's my best... I'm trying to make a version of this with the Muppets in it. It's not going so well so far. Could be called Pooch. But anyway, I tried to get to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. I was rolling around for about 4 hours. After 4 hours of trying to sleep, I gave up, and I thought, I'll go and help my wife now. So I pulled back the duvet, and I looked down, and there was feces matted in the hair all down my leg. And it was not my feces. I couldn't understand where it had come from. It didn't make sense. Jonathan Creek couldn't solve this mystery. This is what had happened. Then I realised what had happened. When I'd gone downstairs to get the glass of water, I'd passed by the cat litter tray. Now, one of my cats likes to shit just next to the cat litter tray. It's like she's saying, I know where I'm meant to shit. I know where you want me to shit. I'm not going to shit there, though. I'm going to shit just next to where you want me to shit, just to show I know where you want me to shit, but you're not the boss of me. I'm going to shit where I like. Now, this has never happened before because I was tired and a bit overexcited. I'd obviously stepped in that poo on the way back upstairs, dragged it barefoot back into the bed, then rolled around in it for 4 hours until I was covered in cat shit. This was the start of the happiest day of my life. This is how it began, coated in cat shit. Whenever obviously I had a shower, I tried to wash it all away, I did that, but I couldn't get rid of the smell. That kind of haunted me for the rest of the day. Whenever I think about the birth of my daughter, I get a faint whiff of cat shit in my nostrils. Whenever I look at her little smiling face, cat shit, that is... You'd think being covered in cat shit at 4 o'clock in the morning would be the worst thing that happened to you on any given day, wouldn't you? It was the best thing that happened to me that day. That was, later in the day, I was looking back with a sense of nostalgia. Do you remember when I was just covered in cat shit? That was a happier time when I wish we could go back to just being covered in cat shit. That was amazing. Can't go back, but... it was all progressing much quicker than I anticipated. By 5 o'clock, the contractions were so close together, we had to rush into hospital. My memory of the cab ride, it was completely silent. There's no way it was, because my wife was in such distress. But I was in a little world of my own. It was a weird journey. We're travelling through London. There's nobody else around. The streets were empty. It was like the city had been built just for us. Everything was bathed in this orange street light. And I guess I was lost in thought. I was thinking, this is weird, isn't it? There's 2 of us going into hospital, but... when we return, from now on, there'll be 3 of us. I mean, I couldn't get my head around that at all. The minute we arrived at the hospital, my wife opened the taxi door, was violently sick onto the street, saving us 50 quid. She's a very considerate, she's a great woman. She was sick every time she had a contraction for the next hour, just throwing up bile in such distress. We had this midwife my wife wanted to get into the delivery room, get some drugs. This midwife was stopping her. There was this awful face-off. I was in between these 2 battling women. Finally, we were allowed into the delivery room, and they've got gas and air there. It's in a little pipe. You can just suck it out of the wall. So, obviously, when the midwife was out the room, I gave that a go. That's standard partner behaviour. I was expecting to get quite a good hit off this, right? Because this is enough to help ease the pain of childbirth. So that's got to be a pretty good drug. Also, I never take drugs, so I thought this would have quite an effect on me. I have to say, I was very disappointed. It made me slightly woozy for about a quarter of a second. It certainly didn't put me in the mood to pass a bowling ball out of my anus, which was something I was planning to do later for comic relief. So do sponsor me if you can. But my wife got some proper drugs. everything calmed down. It's weird, they'd mic'd her up. I could hear my daughter's heartbeat hours before she was born, filling the room. It's kind of weird. That heart would be beating maybe into the 22nd century, even before I'd met this child. Now, I have been threatening to podcast the birth. That was, thought it'd be nice to pass down the family business. And it would be nice to have every second of your life catalogued and recorded. That'd be a nice gift to my daughter. I wish that had happened with my parents. But now I was here, sitting in the corner of this room, I realised this was not about me at all. It was very much about my wife and my daughter. I'd played my part 9 months ago, 30 very vigorous seconds I put in there. I'd done the tricky part. Now my wife had the easy bit, just letting this thing slither out of her vagina. That was all that had to happen for her. So I sat back, I put away the massive pair of ceremonial scissors that I brought with me to cut the umbilical cord, and I actually wrote a blog for the next couple of hours, but I felt very privileged to be here. I was a bit worried about I'm very squeamish. I was worried about witnessing the birth, but I was very privileged to be here because our generation's lucky. In previous generations, the men weren't involved at all. When my sister was born, she was born in my grandma's house in the 1960s. My mum, my grandma, and the midwife were all up in the bedroom. All the men of the family spent the birth in the kitchen listening to the cricket on the radio. That was their part. And during the birth, my mum was making a lot of noise. There was no drugs, fair enough. The midwife genuinely said to her, "Quieten down, love. Think of your menfolk." Which, happier time. So that's a better time. They might have missed some of the cricket. A couple of important balls might have been missed. I thought about saying that to my wife just near the end of the birth, but I chickened out for some reason. But I was, it was weird as we waited. I was thinking about my daughter. Would I recognise her when I saw her? I couldn't work that out. Would I immediately fall in love with her? Would I be overwhelmed with love for this new creature? What would she look like? It's impossible to imagine. That's weird, isn't it? Would it be like in a Carry On film where the baby comes out, it has Sid James's exact laughing face? I mean, it'd be weird if my daughter had Sid James's face. That would imply that my wife would somehow track down a 40-year-old vial of Sid James's semen, then artificially inseminated herself with a turkey baster. I mean, I'd appreciate the effort that had gone into that prank. I'd go, oh yes, that's a funny joke. Yeah, it's like a Carry On film, and it's Sid James's child there. I was hoping it was going to be my baby, I have to say, but no, it's fine. It was a good joke. I'll bring the Sid James baby up as if it were my own. I mean, it's going to be so difficult. They look so much like Sid James. It's like his exact laughing face. I was at the non-business end because I didn't want to see any, but it's impossible to escape the visceral nature of what is going on. It was horrific. I can't get my daughter wasn't twisting her head properly in the birth canal, which is not as romantic a place as it sounds, I have to tell you. And so someone had to come into the room, reach into my wife like it was all creatures great and small, manually twist my daughter's head and pull her out. And then they got a plunger, I'm presuming out of a toilet, and they stuck down my daughter's head and started yanking her. That can't be genuine medical procedure. That's got to be like, they just get bored at the hospital, say, what should we do with this one? I'll go to the toilet, get that stinking plunger. We'll pretend we have to pull her out with a plunger like it's a cartoon. That can't be medical equipment. It was orange. If it was, it would be blue, wouldn't it? If it was a medical thing, that's clearly not real. And my daughter I couldn't process what I was seeing. My daughter was emerging. None of it looked real. I wasn't in love with her. I was terrified of her. She was this angry little squashed up troll. She was a furious looking child. I couldn't process what I was seeing. One moment her head looked massive, then it looked tiny. The special effects were genuinely about as good as in the original Total Recall. She looked exactly like a little bit. It didn't look real. And as my daughter emerged from my wife, she was screaming her head off. I knew they cried when they were born, but she was crying as she emerged. Ah! She was so angry about being evicted from her home, or maybe just she saw me. Ah, no, it's not my dad. Or maybe that's how we spend our whole life. Ah, we managed to internalize the scream, then it's just the back of our mind until the blessed release of death. Oh, thank God. Life is over. This heart. It's an odd way to be introduced to someone, isn't it? As a screaming bloody head emerging from a vagina. That is, if you met anyone else in those circumstances, you walked into a room, their bloody head, was coming out of a vagina, you go, oh, sorry, mate, I'll come back in 5 minutes. You finish up here. I didn't realise what was going on. I had to meet my daughter like this. And I couldn't get that out of my head. That's terrible. And I realised that's basically how every single person, nearly all of us, begin our lives, don't we? It's a screaming head. And for months, every time, that's how you started your life. That's how you started your life, man. That's how you started your life. It's so much easier to imagine with you because you look so much like a baby anyway. So it's, awful. I went to the first date we went on after my baby was born. It was a month after the baby was born. We'd been invited to Buckingham Palace. Now, seriously, this has never happened to me before. We were going to a charity dinner with Princess Anne, Stephen Hawking's, Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't even know I was there, but I'm not a royalist. I had to meet Princess Anne. Out of all of them, I like her. I think she works hard. She's quite cool. I had to make small talk with Princess Anne. All the time I was talking to Princess Anne, all I was thinking was when you were born, your screaming head was coming out of the Queen's vagina. That is... I didn't say it out loud. I don't think I did. I don't know. I was really tired. I might have done... Don't know what the royal protocol is if you say that. So Princess Anne. And my friend had told me that when his kids were born, he'd known their personalities immediately, instantaneously. His daughter had come out, she'd been all cheeky and smiley, that's how she turned out. His son had come out a bit surly and superior, and then sure enough, that was his personality. My daughter spent the first hour of her life just screaming, Her mouth was this rectangle of disdain. It was this awful scream because it would catch in her throat. It was horrible. I thought, I've got 18 years of this. What have I done? I'm going to have to look after this screaming child of Satan. I thought my penis was my friend. Why has it done this to me? So I immediately carved my cock and threw it out the window. I was not making this mistake again. This was never going to happen again. But after the first hour was over, my daughter stopped crying. And she's barely cried since. She's one of the happiest babies I've ever known. She's always smiling, always laughing. She loves, when she sees strangers, she laughs and waves them. I don't know where she gets that from, because I hate people. I think you're scum, so I don't know where she loves you. So maybe my friend was wrong. Maybe you don't know the personalities. Or maybe what we've learned about my daughter, if she's ever manually twisted out of a vagina again, then has a plunger stuck on her head, she'll be angry for approximately an hour. That's her personality type. After a little while, I was holding her. She didn't look like an angry child anymore. She looked like this beautiful, tiny human being. And that love, that bond that wasn't there to begin with, did start to grow. And honestly, I've loved my daughter more every single day I've known her. Every day I love her more. I've never experienced anything like it. It's amazing, because usually with love, it starts really big, doesn't it? And then it just gradually dissipates down like a balloon losing its air until there's literally nothing left. So it's odd to experience it going in the other direction. To love someone more, it's a very strange experience. And I changed that first nappy, and look, it wasn't as bad as I'd been anticipating. I don't know what I'd been worried about. That first nappy was very much like Marmite. Not in that you either really love it or you really hate it. It'd be weird to feel that strongly about a nappy. It was like Marmite in that I didn't mind it. So, because that's what Marmite's like, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it, or you don't mind it. Those are the basic options with Marmite. Or somewhere on a sliding scale between those 3 points: love it, hate it, don't mind it. Somewhere, maybe you've never tried it. You might not have heard of it, but those are the basic Marmite options. It's like anything, isn't it, really, Marmite? It's literally like everything else. You either love it or you hate it or you don't care about it. Why do they single Marmite out for that? That's odd. It's the same as everything. I think it'd be more impressive if advertisers came up with a product that nobody minded. That would be an advertising slogan. No one loves it, no one hates it, everyone doesn't mind it. That would be an interesting slogan. It's difficult to think of things that nobody minds, because people have such strong opinions, don't they, about everything. I've managed to think of something that nobody minds: a Twix. That's it. Twix. Nobody minds a Twix, do they? No one loves a Twix. That's no one's favourite chocolate bar, is it? The Twix. No one's going into a sweet shop. There's an array of different chocolate bars there going, ooh, I think I'll have me a Twix today. No, it's never... You'd have one of the proper chocolate bars, wouldn't you, if there's a choice? But if you went into a canteen, you were hungry, all they had on offer was a Twix. I mean, you go, well, if that's literally all you've got, I'll have a Twix. Didn't you think of getting more stock of different kinds of... I'll have it if that's... If there's a tin of Celebrations, all that's left is the Bounties and the Twixes. Everyone hates the Bounties, obviously. No one likes those. They're just in there as ballast, basically, to weigh the thing down. whatever it is that's inside a Bounty is slightly cheaper to make than just chocolate coating some dirt. That is... In that situation, you go, well, if that's the choice, obviously I'll have a Twix then, but I mean, who ate all the caramels? That's very rude. You just have to eat whatever you pick out. You can't pick and choose. It's rude to lose the worst ones. No one might. So let's do it. There's a lot of people in the room. Whose favourite chocolate bar is a Twix? Cheer if that's you. See, no, nobody cheered. That is... So you're putting up your hand like that. You think, oh, I can get some attention. I can get on richer. I can get on. If I pretend to like Twix, everyone will think I'm cool. No one thinks you're cool. They're looking and going, that woman loves Twixes. What's wrong with her? Oh, you got Munchausen syndrome, darling. I know. You're just trying to get... Yeah, I love Twix. No one loves... Who hates Twixes? Who hates Twixes? Not a single person. You see, that is this. Nobody hates them because no one minds them. I know you're saying, look, you go, oh, Rick, someone must love Twix. It's either why would they put them in sweet shops? If no one's going to buy one, they wouldn't stock. They're always in the sweet shop, so why would they stock them if you're not thinking, what if you're going to the sweet shop to buy a chocolate bar for somebody else who you don't know particularly well? Twix is the perfect choice, and it's a safe choice. They're not going to love it, but they won't hate it. They'll go, oh, thanks, a Twix. Yeah, no, thanks, No, I don't mind that. I mean, wow, it's a long time since I had one of these. Fine, that's fine. So nobody minds it. It's difficult to think of things that nobody minds. Another thing that nobody minds is that advert for Twix. Do you know the one I mean? The left Twix and the right Twix. It imagines they're made in competing factories. No one's loving that advert, are they? I mean, you're going, yeah, that would be funny, I suppose, if they made the exact same product in two competing factories and then for some reason chose to put it out in the same wrapper. I mean, it doesn't really make sense when you think about it for 1 second. Also, doesn't it depend on which way you're looking at the Twix from? No one loves it. No one hates it, though, either, because you go, oh, look, they've given it a go. Come on, they've tried to come up with something original. Give them some credit. Not like the other advertising executives. They've strolled into work at 11 o'clock, copied something off the internet, and then taken cocaine for the rest of the day. They've had a go. So you don't mind. It's hard to think of things that nobody minds. They're mainly Twix-based things. Oh, something else that nobody minds. Do you know the comedian Stuart Lee? I don't know. Do you know him? I don't know if people are aware of him. Sometimes at the end of his set, he does like a semi-serious song, doesn't it? It's basically designed to show what a brilliant musician he would have been if only he chose to go down that route. No one loves that bit, do they? No one loves that bit of the show. That's no one's favourite bit of a Stuart Lee show. No one's going, Mum, coming from the kitchen. Stuart Lee's doing his semi-serious song. It's your favourite bit. That has never happened. Nobody hates it, though, either. You go, look, old Stu, you've done 90 minutes of groundbreaking, amazing comedy. If you want to indulge yourself for the last 5 minutes, pretend you're a rock star, sing a song, then how churlish would it be for me to complain about that? Could you not just repeat the thing you've been repeating for the last 20 minutes for another 5 minutes? Does that not? It doesn't work like that. Is that not how it... I don't really understand how it works. It does not work like that. You have to do a song. Nobody minds it. So what I'm saying, when Stuart Lee sings a semi-serious song at the end of his set, to me, that is exactly the same as my own child's shitty nappy. That is... because I don't mind it. That is what I'm saying there. So, welcome to the show. It's called Happy Now, which is because if you've been following me over the last 15 years, you know I've been through some ups and downs. I don't know why. I've got such a lucky life, but in my 30s, I got single, got a bit depressed, got a bit angry, then I met my wife, then we got married, now we've got a baby, we've got the whole thing, so am I happy now? It's difficult, isn't it, happiness? Because kind of happiness is its own punishment, isn't it? Because if you actually get to be happy, you can't really enjoy it, can you? It's just thinking, what if this all goes wrong? It's bound to go wrong, so you can't enjoy being happy because you're aware that the consequences mean it's not going to last. People who are unhappy are the luckiest people in the world. The only way is up for you schmucks here. I wish I was like you. I don't know. The thing with me, I've concentrated my whole life on my career. Right? That's all I cared about. That's the reason it's taken me so long to have a family, because in my 20s and my 30s, all I was focused on was comedy. I wanted to be the most successful comedian I could be. I was writing all day. I was gigging every night. It was impossible to form any proper relations because that was my entire focus. But now, in this hospital, holding this 1 hour little creature in my arms, looking at me knowing she relied on me, I realised it had taken me 47 years to understand what Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler realised in 90 minutes in all of their films. actually, family is more important than work, isn't it? It's family's the most important. I hadn't realised. I thought it was work, but family is more important. Now I know it now. Now I've realised, and I'm not going to forget that now I've made that understanding. The thing with Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey is they forget, don't they? The minute they finish the film, they have to go out and make another 90-minute film, exactly the same premise, film after film after film. It's like Groundhog Day, isn't it? Except all of the films are shit. The thing about working on a film, starring in it, writing it, even being on the crew, it's one of the most time-demanding jobs you can get, right? It's 18-hour days, 7-day weeks, sometimes for months on end. So all these people making these films about how family is more important than work, they're all neglecting their families in order to bring you. They don't believe the message they're peddling to you. They're just feeding you warm shit as far as they're concerned. They don't agree. They're laughing at you. You go, Daddy, will you come out to play? No, I've got to go and make another shit Adam Sandler film about how family is more important than work, so fuck off. Think about Adam Sandler, he's made so much money, he's a multi-millionaire. Every film he does, millions of dollars he gets paid. He never has to work again. Adam Sandler would rather appear in the kind of films that Adam Sandler's in than even spend a second with his family. That's how much he doesn't believe. He'd rather be in Jack and Jill than be with his... He'd rather pretend to be his own sister than spend time with his sister. That's how much Adam Sandler doesn't believe the message he's peddling to you. Adam Sandler's laughing at you. It's quite ironic, isn't it? So, I know what you're thinking. Oh, God, another comedian's had a baby, thinks he's the only person in the world who's ever had a baby. Now we're going to get 90 minutes of someone banging on about how brilliant their baby is. This show's it's not like that, seriously. I know my baby is not... I love her. She's not interesting to you. From your perspective, she's just a leaking bag of urine. I understand that she's a piece of excrement that has gained sentience. That is all she is. She's not... I find her amusing, but she's not funny to you. I'm not going to do stories about... This show is about something much more interesting than my daughter. It's about me. And so it's a bit about being a father, of course, but it's about whether it's possible to be happy, whether I am happy, whether it's desirable even to be happy. I guess I do worry about the baby thing, because I know a lot of comedians have a baby and then they soften, they're not as funny as they used to be. It's a worry. They say, don't they, that the pram in the hall is the enemy of creativity. They're wrong about that. It's very much the baby. The screaming baby demanding your attention. The pram's got nothing to do with it. I don't know why they blame the pram. The pram is very much the patsy in this situation. The pram doesn't make any difference. You can put it in the hall, put it in the lounge, in the kitchen. Doesn't matter. It doesn't alter your creativity. If you put it on your desk, yeah, it'll... About 5 seconds of taking it. Don't put it on your desk. It's a stupid place to put it. So it's very much the baby demanding your time that ruins your creativity. The pram's quite useful. If you go to the supermarket, there's a little shelf underneath the pram. You can put some of your heavier items on that shelf. You don't have to carry them home. It's one of the main advantages of having a baby. I mean, you could not have a baby and just buy a pram, I suppose, but I'm not sure that people would approve. They looked into the pram expecting to see a baby and instead, there were your crunchy nut cornflakes. I think that would be a problem. And, you know, I can see you saying, Rich, don't worry. You're saying that the baby can't be the enemy of creativity. Look at that amazing pram in the hall routine you just came up with. It's amazing what you did there. It was brilliant. My wife came up with that routine, so I've got nothing. Seriously, I haven't been spending any time with adults. I spent the last year with my tiny little baby, so I'm not sure I can make adults laugh anymore. I know I can make my daughter laugh. That's, you know, she's not easy to make laugh, but I know when I make her laugh, she really laughs. So I'm figuring the stuff that makes my daughter laugh must be comedy gold, right? So I thought for the rest of the show, I would just do the routines I've come up with for my daughter. It's a new kind of direction for me, but I think you'll get a kick out of this. It's got to be good stuff. So the first time I really made my daughter laugh, I was singing the song Frère Jacques to her, but I changed the lyrics in a way that I think you're going to find quite amusing. So it became ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Can you sing? Can you sing? Sing along with Daddy, sing along with Daddy, ding dong, ding, ding dong. This killed in the nursery. I don't understand. I don't understand why that's gone so bad. She loved this. I'm beginning to think maybe she laughed at that just so I would do it in the show and look like a fucking idiot. That she is. No, actually thinking about it, it did take about 5 times of me doing that before she found it funny at all. Then it was hilarious for the next 10 times. Then it wasn't funny again. But maybe I just need to do it for the rest of the show. I'll just sing that for the rest of the show. Okay, I'll try something else. The second time I really made her laugh, it was her favourite toy at the time, just this little ball. One day I just grabbed the ball off her, I went, yeah, more your level, that's it, more your level, that's it. It's got quite a good laugh there. The rest of you didn't laugh at that. I think you can't appreciate how funny that was for my daughter, because at that point she'd never actually seen a dog, so she was enjoying that on some kind of surreal level that I think is probably beyond human consciousness. God knows what she found funny. All right, I'll do, this is the thing that makes her funny, and I'll make her laugh at the moment. I'll do this to you, mate, because of the baby resemblance thing you're in. So this is... Yeah, see, I knew you'd get, because I was far away, then I was close, and then I was far away again. I think that's the joke there. So, yeah, all right, maybe I'll try some different stuff. That doesn't seem to be really working. But it's difficult, because I used to do quite a lot of edgy jokes. I did stuff about dead babies. I did jokes about paedophiles. A lot of parents said to me, when you have kids of your own, you won't make jokes about paedophilia anymore. You won't find paedophilia funny when you have a baby of your own. And they're right, because now I've got a baby, I've realised paedophilia is really bad, isn't it? I didn't know. I didn't realise, I'm really sorry, I didn't realise, I just thought it was a bit of a spree. When it was other people's kids, who cares? You know, I just thought doesn't really matter, does it? But now, when I think it could be my own daughter, that's horrific, I can't. So I'm sorry that I didn't realise how awful it was, but... I would say I've got darker. My comedy's got darker, because the things I think now are much worse than the things I used to think. Partly because if I think about a dead baby now, it's got my daughter's face on it. It's quite harrowing. I've got like a voice in my head constantly telling me the worst possible thing that can happen to every time, in any scenario I'm with my daughter. I think all parents have this. It's just like a little warning thing. I think it gives you an evolutionary advantage. That's the idea, that if you imagine the worst possible thing that can happen, you'll do everything you can to stop that happening. But it means you have to think of someone you love more than anyone in the world in constant peril, and it's horrific. So I'll take you through. The first time it happened, I was just walking in the kitchen with a little tiny baby, cradling her in my arms. There was no danger at all. The voice in my head was going, oh, watch out. Don't smash her head into the breakfast bar. All her brains will come out. She'll probably die or brain damage. It'll be, if you grab by the legs and swing her dead, mate. So don't... Why have you made me think that? I don't want to think of... I love my daughter. I don't want to think her brain's coming out. Just helping you out, mate. Just being a mate. Because I've told you that. You won't do that now. So that is... I've helped you. I would never do that anyway. Would I kill someone, the person I love most? What would your wife say if she walked into the kitchen, all your baby's brains all over the floor? She would be cross with you, mate. You would be in the doghouse that day. So I've got you out of her. Don't have to thank me. I'm just being a mate. I'm just doing my job. That's what I'm here for. Second time it happened, it was the first time I took my daughter out for a walk in the pram on her own. I went for about an hour's walk with her, and there's so many things to worry about. It's so terrifying. I was just pedalling her along. The voice in my head said, oh, watch out. What if a stalactite of frozen urine falls out of an aeroplane toilet, spears her through the chest? That'll kill her, so watch out. Watch out for that. Really? I mean, is that likely to happen? Just helping you out. What would your wife say if you got home? Baby's got a spear of urine through it. She'd go, that is just typical of you. That is exactly what I was expecting to happen. I didn't say anything. I thought I didn't want to patronise you coming back with a... Actually, by the time you get the baby home, the urine will have melted. So actually, it'll be a pram full to the brim with urine, with a dead baby floating in it, with a big hole in the middle of your wife's going to go, what have you been doing? You've only been gone for an hour. How is this? The whole hole in her and urine everywhere. That looks like more urine than one person could realistically produce in an hour. It smells like the urine of several international travellers. What have you been doing? Just help. Should I be looking out for cars and stuff? I'm just helping you out, mate. You don't have to thank me. Then I was just feeding her the other day. It's one of the most lovely moments of being a parent. You've got nurturing. She's quiet. You've got the little baby in your arms. No danger at all. The voice of my head was going, oh, don't twist the head 360 degrees like it's a bottle top. That'll kill her. If you do 720, I think it'll come off. So don't do that. What would your wife say if you walked into the lounge holding your baby's severed head? To be honest, mate, I wouldn't really be worried about what my wife said. I'd be more worried about why I just needlessly murdered the person I love most in the world in such an horrific manner, just helping you out. Don't make me think of things that I'm not even going to do. What's the point of that? I'm not going to do that. It's awful. People hate people who kill their own kids, mate. They're the worst people in the world. That is your career will really suffer. You might do better in Swansea, but that is the only place that they'll like that kind of stuff. It's helping you out. Don't have to thank me, mate. I'm being a mate. And then we were on John Lewis in London. It's on Oxford Street. The baby department's on the 6th floor, right? But you can just, there's a little barrier. You can look down, right down to the ground floor, 6 floors below. Voice in my head went, "Ooh. Don't pick your baby up now. Just chuck her over that barrier. That'll kill her. I know they say babies bounce. Not from this height, mate. That'll be baby jam down there, all over the menswear department. What would John Lewis say when there's all baby goo all over his new menswear line? He'll be cross with you, Richard. What would your wife say if you just threw your baby? Look, if you're so interested in what my wife would say, I don't know why that bothers you so much. I'll tell you, I think what would happen, I think my wife would laugh, because I think she would think it was a joke. I'd thrown some blankets over or something. Then she'd see it was real. I think she'd let out a kind of primeval, instinctive scream. You can't even imagine, an animalistic scream. Then she'd punch me in the face and run downstairs, and I would never see her again. Are you happy now? Yeah, I am happy now. I know that. Just helping you out, mate. That's all. I'm just giving you... And then the other day I was just in the nursery and, I got the baby, the baby had got to sleep. It's the best part of the day. I mean, they're so annoying when they're awake. It's just so, just to see her sleep, just seeing her little chest rising and falling as she's breathing. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, there's no danger at all in that situation. The voice in my head was going, some dads do just kill their own babies, don't they? Just, something in them snaps, they kill them seemingly for no reason. Do you think they've got a voice in their head warning them about all the things that they shouldn't do, but for some reason they go crazy. They decide to do the things the voice in their head telling them not to do. What if you're one of those blokes, one of those mental blokes who kills? What evolutionary advantage is this giving me to suggest I should murder my own child, like I'm in The Shining or something? This isn't helpful. You go to prison as well. You live inside me. I know, mate. I'm really looking forward to that. There's so many things I can warn you about in prison. That is. So I don't think having a baby's made me less edgy, but I'm worrying about her dying. I'm worried about myself dying. I'm an older dad, right? I was 47 years old when my daughter was born. Almost to the day, the exact same age as my dad was when he first became a granddad. That's how late I've left this. I feel stupid for doing it that long. And I used to make a joke in one of my old shows saying, maybe it's good being an older dad. You're a bit older, a bit wiser. You've got all your gallivanting out the way. You're there for your child. You'll educate them, play with them, be there with them when they're little. Then when they're about 13, you'll probably die. Thus missing those annoying teenage years. That is, brilliant joke, isn't it? That's on DVD, though, that joke now. And, my daughter might be watching that and going, oh, yeah, what a funny joke that was, Dad. What an hilarious man you were. If only I could have spent some quality time with you, I imagine we'd have been laughing all the time. And it's awful, I keep thinking, what if I don't live to see everything my daughter achieves? That's a horrible thought. But what if I do live to see everything my daughter achieves? That's a lot worse, isn't it? And those are the only two options. That is how much hell you're in as a parent. And look, I'm so tired. I know all parents are tired, and I'm not saying it's worse for me, but I work nights. I sometimes get in at 2 o'clock in the morning. I want to play my part, and so I'm often getting up at 6 o'clock, 3 hours sleep. I'm exhausted all the time. About 3 months into her life, my wife had taken my daughter out. I was in the kitchen. I was just trying to tidy up, make lunch, just be helpful. To keep my energy up, because I was so exhausted, I was eating a fresh apricot. And, ooh. Get you, Rich, saying fresh apricots, is it now? I remember when you used to eat Monster Munch. Now you're nibbling on a fresh apricot. You've choosing a Julius Caesar. You've changed, going to Buckingham Palace, eating fresh apricots. You're not like us anymore. Honestly, I've never even seen a fresh apricot before this day. Seriously, I'm from the 1970s. I thought apricots came in tins. I thought you twisted them apart. They were full of carnation milk. I thought they were like coconuts. That's what I thought. But I'd been in Tesco Express the night before on the way home from a gig. I'd seen these fresh apricots on the shelf. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like a post-World War II child seeing his first banana. I've got to try those. That'll be amazing. No one will ever find out about my apricot shame. That's fun. So I was busy. I was distracted. I was tired. I was nibbling on this apricot. And I looked down and I realised, as well as eating the flesh of the apricot, I'd accidentally eaten the apricot stone as well. I coughed and experienced the kind of discomfort you could only really feel if you had a potential tree lodged in your gullet. I could feel it was stuck in the back of my throat. I could feel I was retching, but it wouldn't come up. I was going to choke to death on this apricot stone. I was dying, and in that moment of realisation that my life was over. I didn't feel afraid. I didn't feel scared. I wasn't even thinking if I lived a good life, and I wasn't worried about that. Will I go to heaven or hell? That I wasn't even thinking about my family. All I was thinking as life ebbed away from me was this is an incredibly embarrassing way to die. To fail to eat a small piece of fruit successfully. People are going to find out how I died, and they're not going to be sad. They're going to laugh about me. Then they'll find out I was choked on an apricot stone. They'll go, ooh, apricots was it? Apples and oranges not good enough for Richard Herring, or a peach if he's feeling fancy. I'm glad he's dead. The apricot-eating idiot. Then I realised, then I thought about my daughter, and I thought, oh my God, this is terrible. You know, I'm going to leave my daughter without a father. She'll never know me. It was just felt this profound grief and sadness. And, you know, people are going to say to you, you're so young. You know, how did your father die? And she'll have to say, he failed to eat a small piece of fruit efficiently. I don't think anyone will leave it. People's curiosity will be piqued. They'll go, well, what fruit can you eat that will kill? You say, it was an apricot. He was eating an apricot, all right. That's not even a big stone. I know he's an idiot. I hate him. Apricot vanity would be exposed to another generation. But then I realised I was still breathing. I wasn't dead. Spoiler alert. The discomfort I was feeling was from where the apricot stone had scraped my uvula on the way down. And so I was going to be all right. But then I Googled apricot stones, and I found out apricot stones actually contain cyanide. So I wasn't out of the woods yet. I thought I'd take a leaf out of the book of the old woman who swallowed a fly. I thought, if I can find a small animal that would eat an apricot stone, I can swallow that. It will swallow the apricot stone. It will die of cyanide poisoning, and I will be fine. Can't remember how it turned out for the old lady. It's got to be fine. It's a children's song. Got to be a happy ending. So I went on Twitter and I asked Twitter what animal will eat an apricot stone. The only person who responded said, the only animal that will eat an apricot stone is a dodo. So I didn't know if I had time to go to the Natural History Museum in Oxford where they have a stuffed dodo, extract some of the dodo DNA, implant that into a pigeon egg. It's the same family, I don't need to tell you. Wait for that to hatch, for the dodo to grow to maturity. It's a big bird, I don't know if I could swallow. I figured there wasn't time, but then I found out there's only actually a tiny amount of cyanide in every apricot stone. This was only going to be an issue if I absentmindedly went to the fridge and absentmindedly ate all 8 other apricots in there with their stones, and then absentmindedly went back to Tesco Express and absentmindedly bought 80 more apricots and absentmindedly ate all of those, and it was going to be fine. But then I thought, if it hurt that much going in, it's going to be worse coming out, isn't it? I don't want you to think about it, madam, because you seem like a respectable lady, but that is quite a large aperture there. The throat is quite, and it really hurt my throat, so I don't want you to think about it, but the exit hole, don't think about it, it's a much tighter aperture there. If you think about the damage that the throat, that's just one, don't think about it, but the apricot stone passing through that sensitive little pow, it would be a ravaged anus, so I don't want you, please don't think, I don't want you imagining my ravaged anus bit. It'd be ruined, wouldn't it? Wouldn't work as an anus anymore, I think, after that rough stone. Been through it, but this happened about 11 months ago. It hasn't come out yet, so I think it might still kill me. I think there's an apricot tree growing inside me. Suddenly I'm going to sprout branches dead, rooted to the spot. At least I'll be able to provide an income for my family in death. You know, people will come from miles around to lick my apricots. Not for the first time. Hey. Yeah, you get it? I mean, guess I'm talking about my testicles there. I guess that's the punchline to that, which seems a bit delusional, doesn't it? What I seem to be suggesting in the punchline to that routine is that at the moment, people, more than one person, has come from miles around to lick my testicles. That seems to be that. I mean, that's never happened. No one has come from miles. I don't think anyone would come from the top of my street to lick my testicles. I can't remember the last time anyone licked my testicles, even when the testicles were right in their face. I was sort of dangling them in an expectant fashion. No, but Phil, they wouldn't. So the idea that I am so arrogant that I think people would travel from miles, I don't think if there was a tramp at the top of my road and I said, mate, I'll give you 20 quid if you come down to my house and lick my testicles, I think he'd go, no. That is too far to travel for too small an amount of my money. I'd say 30, he'd go, okay, well, I'll do it for 30, and then he'd come down. So reluctantly, I don't think he'd be enjoying it. Go, why did I? You'd have to kind of limbo under. They're quite low-hanging fruit now. I'm an older man. You'll find out later when it's not a pretty... How delusional am I that I think anyone would... It's a pathetic punchline, isn't it, to a routine, because it doesn't... I don't usually do this bit. It's just something about your face made me come up. You were like my muse there. Because of you, I created that whole tramp licking my testicles riff there. That was down to you. Some women have inspired great art, sculpture, painting. You've made me come up with the idea of a tramp. No one can take that away from you, and your face is on film as well, so everyone will remember. Everyone will remember forever what's going on. So I think having a baby has made me understand happiness in... Not my own, I'm not happy, I have to say, but when a baby's happy, it's truly happy, right? Because a baby has no idea of consequences, it doesn't know the world's a horrible place. So when the baby is happy, that's pure happiness, unadulterated. It's kind of beautiful, but it's awful as well. My baby's laughing, and I like it, but I'm thinking, God, the world isn't as nice a place as you think. You're going to find out there's awful stuff. I can't protect you from everything. You're going to get hurt in this world. So every time my daughter laughs, it's the most awful sound. It's like someone's putting spikes into my eyes. It's just an horrific. I hate it. I would just wish she would shut up, because it's so tragic, isn't it? It reminds me when I was, a few years ago, I was on holiday in Thailand, and I was sitting in front of my beach hut. This 3-year-old boy was walking along the seashore, eating a cornetto. Right? He was just holding it in his hands, pecking at it reverently. He looked so perfectly happy in that moment. I thought, life doesn't get any better than that, does it? Being 3 years old and eating a cornetto in the sunshine. There's no greater indulgence in everything that will happen from cradle to grave. Yet that child won't remember that cornetto in 10 hours, let alone 40 years. He's experienced the most happy moment of his life, and he will never realise it. It's the most tragic thing ever. I mean, I could eat a cornetto now as an adult, of course. I could have 12 in a night if I wanted. I'm not saying I haven't done that. They're 3 for £2 at Tesco Express. But I've got nothing to fear but my own heart exploding. But any cornetto you eat as an adult will never be as amazing as that cornetto lost in time. The cornettos we eat as adults are only sprinkled with disappointment. But when you're 3 years old, it's your whole world. You have no control over where the next cornetto will come from. So when one arrives, it's this ice cream oasis in the desertless desert of life. Plus, it's big, it's yours. You can't share it with anyone. It's an ice cream, it's yours. You don't understand that it's bad for you. There's no guilt associated with it. You don't know there are better, more expensive, more delicious ice creams than cornettos. You don't even know the cornetto will soon be gone. All you know is you have a cornetto and you're as happy as a human being could ever be. And yet you won't remember this moment. It's awful. And yet if I'd gone up to that child, grabbed him by the shoulders and shaken him and said, remember this cornetto. This is the best moment that will ever happen to you in your life. This is the happiest you will ever be. Remember it. That might slightly sad the indulgences of the moment, but also in this day and age, a 48-year-old man vigorously shaking a 3-year-old boy that he doesn't know and shouting in his face about happiness is seen as some kind of crime. Thanks a lot, Rolf Harris. It's political correctness gone mad. But of course, if the child had known this was the happiest moment of his life, it wouldn't have been the happiest moment of his life anymore. It's the fact that he doesn't know that makes it amazing. And if I could have made him understand, he'd have just gone, what? So I'm 3 years old, and I've experienced the zenith of my existence with maybe 100 years left on this planet. I can't stand it. It's all downhill from here. I'm going to walk into the sea and end it on a high. So it's the perfect symbol of happiness, a cornetto. It's synthetic. It's transitory. If you try and hold on to it, all you're left with is a gloopy mess. It's the perfect thing. But as an adult, we can't be happy. We can't have that happiness of a child as an adult because we're aware of consequences. We know the world's a horrible place. I ask my adult friends what makes them happy. And interestingly, all the things that make an adult happy are things that you can lose yourself in. Like you can forget for a second that you're an adult. You can get back to that childhood innocence. So one of my friends said she loved going on a roller coaster because you're so scared, you forget about everything else. You can enjoy that in that way. Someone said they loved having massages because you lose yourself in that. Lots of people said they loved having sex because, of course, you lose yourself in that. It doesn't work for me because that voice in my head is there all the time, whatever I'm doing. If I'm on a roller coaster, the voice in my head saying, what if a bolt flies out like in Final Destination 3? That's you fucked, mate. It's not even the best Final Destination film. That's an embarrassing way to die. When I'm having a massage, I don't really understand what I'm meant to be getting out of that. I can't enjoy it and relax. I don't understand what the pleasure is meant to be. Firstly, I feel awkward for the poor person to touch my raddled old body, but Also, what's the pleasure meant to be? I don't get it. Is it meant to be a bit sexy? I think it is. I don't know. I once had a hot and cold stone massage. This middle-aged man in a spa, he gave me a hot and cold stone massage. He said I didn't have to wear any underwear, just the towel would be fine. That's never happened to me before. And admittedly, he did get me quite relaxed, but I'm pretty sure that during that massage, he twice accidentally brushed my penis with his hand. And to be fair, this is the only massage I've ever had in my life where I wasn't secretly hoping that was about to happen. I haven't been so disappointed since I had a massage called Head in the Clouds and found out it was no such thing. And I can't enjoy sex. Either am I making love with my wife, the voice in my head's going, what if a stalactite of frozen urine falls out of an aeroplane toilet, comes through the ceiling and spears you in the back? You'll be like, oh! Your wife will be going, oh, he's really getting into it tonight. This is a new side to him we haven't seen before. Then slowly the urine would start to melt. She'd go, oh, God. He's into this now, is he? I suppose it was inevitable. Then she'll go, hold on, this seems like more urine than one person could realistically produce. It smells like the urine of several international travellers. What's he getting into now? Then I'm worried the hot and cold stone massage man will come and start brushing my winky, and by the time I thought of that, it's over, to be honest. That's enough for me. But I'd say I hadn't anticipated the effect that having a baby would have on my relationship with my wife. Because everyone said, oh, you have a baby, it completes you, you'll live happily ever after. That is bullshit, isn't it? It destroys your relationship. It's like you've set off a torpedo 9 months ago without realising it's going to come back and just blow your life apart. Seriously, isn't it? It destroys it. I'm arguing with my wife way more than I used to. We make up just about, but really horrible arguments, partly because you're so tired, obviously just niggling at each other. Also, you're worried that the other person hasn't noticed all the things you're doing, you're worried you're doing. You get really petty. It's awful, isn't it? I'm not sure we should be having babies with someone that we're in love with. I don't think that's... Because it wrecks it, right? And that's not why you get together. You get together because you're romantically in love with each other and you enjoy hanging out with each other. And then suddenly you go, oh, why don't we go into business with each other? Why don't we set up... And we'll do a new job. What the job is bringing up a human being from scratch, from a tiny little egg, until it's 18 years old. It's 24 hours a day, this job. It's 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You don't get Christmas off. In fact, you have to work harder on Christmas than all the other days. Oh, no, you don't get paid. You have to pay thousands of pounds for the privilege of doing this job. And then at the end, the kid will just tell you to fuck off because they hate you. So that is... Would you like to do that job? No, I wouldn't. Imagine if there was a job and you went for the interview and they said, so you two, why do you think you should be parents? What are your attributes together that you think would make you good parents? Well, we like really hanging out with each other, going out getting pissed, staying out till 3 o'clock in the morning, making love till 6 o'clock, staying in all day, doing nothing, watching telly. Then we like going on a luxurious, expensive foreign holidays where they don't allow children. You're the worst people we've ever had in for this job. What made you think you were suitable parents? Wouldn't it be much better if we had babies with someone that we really hated? I would think, let me get through. I think it'll be good. You stay with the person you're in love with, that's not ruined. You go off, you have a baby with someone you loathe, okay? Firstly, guys, it would make the birth experience a whole lot more enjoyable. You're going, yeah, cut her up a bit more, the bitch. Go, who cares? And girls you'd enjoy, you could like punch him literally in the face, break his nose, go, fuck off, you cunt, I hate you. No repercussions. You wouldn't feel bad after, you'd feel good. Then the minute the baby's born, you wouldn't want anything to do with each other. You hate that person. You divide up your time. One of you had the baby for a week, then you could spend the other week with the person you were in love with. You don't have the baby, then you go back to the baby. You'd make sure it was all divided up really equal, all the time and the money. You'd be so childishly pathetic, pernickety about it. Well, make sure everyone spent exactly the same amount of money because you hate that person. You don't want them getting one up on you. It's essentially what happens anyway, is my point. So, what I'm saying is why don't we stay with the person we love, find someone we hate? In your system, you have to find two people to love. It's much harder to find someone to love than it is to find someone to hate. I hate loads of people, so it doesn't ruin your relationship like a baby does. And I have to say, it's weird for me being in a stable relationship. Like 10, 15 years ago, my life was very different. I didn't think I would ever really get to this stage. Because I was concentrating so much on my job, I didn't have time for a proper relationship. I was traveling around the country, living this kind of itinerant student lifestyle. I was sleeping with lots of nameless, faceless strangers. Looking back at it now, I can't believe what I was doing. It was so shallow and meaningless. And I have to say, it did make me very happy. It was amazing. My favourite bit was when I ejaculated. That was the best bit of it every time. My least favourite bit was about 30 seconds after I ejaculated. But now I'm in a monogamous relationship, and look, I'm happy in a different... I love my wife so much, and she's amazing, and it's a beautiful and it's a more meaningful happiness, but I'm still a human man. I still think back to those old days, and I miss certain aspects. I mean, I would never do anything to... because it's not worth risking what I've got for something so meaningless. I would never want to hurt my wife. I wouldn't want to lose my daughter, so I'd never act on it. But, you know, you just sort of sometimes think there must be some way you could have a bit of both. You'd think there must be some way to navigate through. I don't know if you saw the TV show Humans last year. It's like a sci-fi show. It's about a society very like our own, except now they've got robots. They're very realistic robots. They look like human beings, but they're not human beings. They're machines, okay? And they can care for you if you're ill. They can do menial tasks. They can provide other releases if you're feeling frustrated in another way. Now, in the show, the husband in the family cracks and activates the sexual functions of his admittedly ludicrously and dangerously attractive robot. I mean, I do not know why you would have that robot in your house. It is much too dangerous. She's played by the actress Gemma Chan, incredibly gorgeous woman. I'm saying, whoever you are, male or female, straight or gay, if you had that robot in your house and knew you could activate its sexual functions 2 hours, you would be up to her nuts. I'm incredibly proud of that joke. I just want that to go on record. Now, in the show, the husband of the family, he lasts about a week before he activates the robot's sexual functions. Now, I assume the message of the show would be, this man is a hero. How has he shown such restraint? Let's make him king of the world. We'll give him a medal. Let's find out why he's so wonderful. He's the hero of the programme. No, I was very wrong. It's very much the opposite of that. He was seen as he'd done something incredibly wrong. His wife considered he'd had an affair. He was made the fool of the piece. Now, I don't think that's on, right? Because I don't think... this isn't a human being. It's not an affair, because it's a robot. It's not a person. And look, there aren't any realistic sex robots at the moment, but there will be soon. Fellas, we have to set the ground rules now, okay? Don't just allow people to go, it's wrong, because it's not wrong. It's not a person, it's a machine. I asked my wife if she'd mind me having sex with a robot that looked exactly like the actress Gemma Chan. She said she'd mind and would divorce me if I did that. Now, I don't think that's fair, because it's not. I mean, look, in a relationship, there are certain things we're allowed to do that our partner might not be delighted about, but they're not going to divorce you over because they're fancy, they're not real threats. So if one of you in the partnership is using online pornography, your partner might not be happy about it, but they'll go, oh, go in your disgusting little hole and wank yourself, stupid. But they're not going to divorce you, are they? Because it's a fantasy. You'd be crazy to get seriously jealous about it. It's like, sure, ladies, many of you have got a sex toy of some kind, maybe a vibrator. I mean, that is essentially a robot penis, isn't it? There you go, you're working away. No one's going to divorce you over that, because it's not a person, it's a machine, so that's perfectly acceptable. It's actually more offensive than a sex robot, isn't it? Because what you've done there is you go, no, it's all right, mate, you can... just throw the rest of the robot away. That's fine. I know this is the only bit. I know, I'll just take this bit. That's fine. No, I know. I appreciate what you've done. That's amazing what you've done. That is so intricate. It looks so human. It's amazing what you've done. But just throw that in a big burning bin, because this is the only bit. This is the only bit I'm interested in. Ideally, darling, if I could, I'd carve your cock and throw the rest of you away. I can't do that. It's against the law. No one's going to divorce you over that, though, are they? Because that is, it's a machine, right? It's like the... So what if my wife came home and found me in the car with one of those plug-into-the-cigarette lighter, lorry driver friend electric vaginas you can get? I've heard... Yeah, sure, she might be disappointed in me. She might say, why are you doing that in the car the neighbours can see? I'd say, well, it's very specifically got a cigarette lighter attachment. I don't have one of those in the house, so I have to come in the car to use it. It's the only place I can use it. Could you not get some kind of adapter? Well, I'm not sure they do adapters that way round, to use a car thing in the house. It's weird. It's very specifically a car thing. It'd be weird to get... I'd have to build a dashboard of a car in the house. I think that would be strange. But she wouldn't divorce me over that, because it's exactly the same as the vibrator, isn't it? That's the vagina thing. It's the same story. So what if my wife came home and found me in the kitchen, up to my plums in the toaster? I think she might be confused. She might pass on the next round of toast. She might suggest we buy a new toaster, but she would not divorce me, because it's the same as the giant thing and the vibrator, isn't it? It's not. It would be ridiculous to get divorced. I've looked into this. In this country, no one has ever got divorced because either party has had sex with a toaster or any kind of oven. That has never happened. So That proves that nobody minds that. That is QED, that is proof. So what have I got? 24 toasters, right? And I hammered and soldered them together into a realistic human shape. For the vagina, I'd use a single-slice toaster. For the anus, a cigarette lighter from a car. I'm not sure why I'm so obsessed with putting my penis in extremely hot things. And I'm not, this is a hypothetical situation, but it's interesting I know how many toasters it would take to make this Frankenstein toaster sex monster, isn't it? Then on the head toaster, I stuck a photo of the actress Gemma Chan. It looks like a human being, but it's still the same as the toaster, the electric vagina and the vibrator. It's not a pure person. You can't get upset, and that's what a robot's like. Me and my wife had a proper 2-hour argument about this. So she doesn't like me doing this routine. She's furious that I'm doing it. I'm never going to allow her to see this DVD, or she'll find out I'm doing it still. I later found out there aren't going to be realistic sex robots for 50 years. So that was a waste of an argument, wasn't it? I'm going to be too old to be dead by then. I'm never going to have sex with a realistic sex robot. And that breaks my heart, because it's always been a dream of mine, just once to have sex with a realistic sex. Ever since I was a little kid at school, that's my dream. So I didn't specifically say in the marriage vows that I wouldn't do that either. That if you're going to get married, make sure that your marriage vows are future-proofed. Any future technology, alien species, he'll find a way to wheedle out if you let him. So I asked my wife if she'd mind me having sex with the actress Gemma Chan, as long as she stayed in character as a robot for the entire time, which I think she could do. She's a brilliant actress. I think she could pull that off. My wife said she'd mind that as well. I mean, can't win, can you? I just really want to have sex with the actress Gemma Chan, if I'm honest. That's what this routine is, basically, in a nutshell, if you're just going to take it down to one. So the thing is, I didn't know about her. I got married 4 years ago. I didn't know about her when I got married, and now I'm married, and a better one has come along, and I'm stuck with the rubbish one that Just make sure if you're going to get married, you've definitely got the best you can do. That's all I'm saying. In real life, the actress Gemma Chan is going out with the comedian Jack Whitehall. Which, I mean, no, it's ridiculous. I'm better than him, aren't I? So that is so frustrating. And the thing is, she could have anyone she wants in the world, and she chooses Jack Whitehall. She's clearly mentally unbalanced in some way, isn't she? Which is annoying, because that means I would have been in with a chance. That's the beauty of the mentally unbalanced women. They don't know when they're with someone they're way too good for, so you can get in there. I'd like to put a little interval in at this point, just so any couples can go away and properly discuss the whole sex robot issue. 15, 20 minutes, and make sure, see which side of it you come down on. Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here so far. I'll see you again in about half an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the amazing Richard Herring. I mean, I wouldn't say amazing, but that is... that guy. Yeah, I can see you through you. When you think about it, that guy, he sees all the shows, doesn't he? So... that is quite a compliment. So, welcome back. I hope you had a good interval. No Twixes or Cornettos, apparently. I should do it. When I did that Ferrero Rocher routine as well, I should definitely have done a deal with Ferrero Rocher people. It makes a bit of yogurt. I did that, didn't I? I just do one about food every time. So I think the mistake I made, and I think a lot of people make with happiness, is when you're unhappy, and I was unhappy in my 30s. Again, I don't know why. I have an amazing life I had even then, but... you look at your behaviour when you're unhappy and you think, oh, this thing's making me unhappy, so if I do the opposite of this behaviour, that will make me happy, because the opposite of unhappiness has happiness, so clearly the opposite of what I'm doing will make me happy. That's not how opposites work. Just because one thing's an opposite, the other thing doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. And that's a lot of us make this mistake. I used to drink way too much. It made me very unhappy. Alcohol is a depressant. Who knew? But then I would say, well, I'll stop drinking. That will make me happy. But it didn't make me happy. It made me just as unhappy but not drinking, because being sober is really boring. Everyone else in this country is drunk all the time. That's what you realise when you're sober. Going out, it's like being in a dipsomaniac version of The Sixth Sense. You know, I see drunk people there. They're everywhere. They're walking around. They can't see each other. They don't know they're drunk. But it was sad. I would wake up, I'd drink too much. I'd wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, wired and feeling like drunk, but also confused and scared, unable to get back to sleep. And I would turn on TV, and all that was on TV back then was like CBeebies. So I would spend like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, I'd watch Balamory and Big Cook, Little Cook every single day, repeating. It was driving me insane because I was thinking too much about it. You know, I was wondering, how did Big Cook and Little Cook even meet? They're such different sizes. They must move in different circles. And what made them decide to go into business with each other? And then to run a cafe, that's just ridiculous. One of them is palpably too small. I was just waiting for the episode where Little Cook got fried up in the deep fryer, but it never came. But now I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I watch children's TV. But now, because I've got a little baby with me, it's a happy experience. It's strange the same thing can be. But I still think too much about what I'm seeing. My daughter loves a YouTube channel called Little Baby Bum. It's not what it sounds like. Don't Google it. Add that to your search history, you'll be in trouble. It's quite charming. It's a British-run thing, one of the most popular YouTube channels in the world. It's about nursery rhymes set to cartoons. And it's a bit galling as an adult. My daughter loves it. She's obsessed with it. She watches it all the time, which means I have to watch it all the time because I'm seeing these nursery rhymes over and over again. And again, it's driving me slightly mad because I'm thinking too much about them. If you want to write nursery rhymes, I know the formula now, how to do them, because I've seen so many. First, copy the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. That's what they all do. I didn't realise that when I was a kid. Second, think of 5 little things and then have them gradually deplete to no little things. That's the basic formula. So, 5 little ducks go swimming one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said, quack, 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 but only 4 little ducks came back. My daughter loves this nursery rhyme. I find it deeply disturbing. I mean, what's happened to that little duckling, and why does nobody care? Why is no one going, what the fuck are we going to do? There's a duckling missing. But not only does the mother duck not care, she goes out the next day, does exactly the same thing, and another duck goes missing. And she doesn't change her behaviour. She just keeps on going. I'd say stop going over the hills and far away. That's probably the issue. She doesn't care. She carries on until there are no ducks left. And to be fair to her, when there are no ducks left, suddenly she's sad. I would say that would be too late. After the second one had gone, I'd have started altering my behaviour and thinking about what was going on. But she says quack, quack, quack. And this one has a happy ending, unusually, because all 5 little ducks come back, so few. But I can't help wondering, where were those ducks in the interim? I mean, one of those ducks has been missing for practically a week. I mean, how's it survived? It's been out in the wild. It's only a duckling. I mean, maybe it was taken in by a kindly stranger. You're living in a dream world, darling, if that's what you... Clearly, the only possible explanation is all those ducks have been abducted by some kind of duck paedophile and kept in a basement and abused. They managed to escape in the end, but think of the psychological repercussions on those ducks. They're not going to trust their mother again. And I can't work out if the duck paedophile is a duck that likes having sex with underage ducks or a human being that likes having sex with underage ducks. I don't know which one's worse. That's the thing. I mean, they're both reprehensible characters. I'm not defending either of them. But if you had to scale them on a league table, I think you might say the human's worse for having sex with the tiny duck. I think the duck's worse for having paedophile sex within its own species. That is much more disturbing, I think. If you move species, that is at least... It's better for the human paedophile to be having sex with a duckling, isn't it, than with a child, with a human child. He is... if you had to say who was the best person out of those two, you'd say it's the guy fucking the duck. That is the... if he's sating his urges by having sex with a duckling, that is actually quite a positive thing, isn't it? It's like, I want to have sex with children, but I'm having sex with a little duck, so who's the real evil person in this situation? It's not me. I'm better than the paedophile. That is what I'm saying. This is the man saying this. I mean, who can blame that mysterious man, though? I mean, those ducklings, they're so cute, aren't they, and fluffy. Those tiny little cloacas. He's only human, whoever that man is. It's a vigorous defence of that man, whoever he is. The other one my daughter loves, I didn't know this one when I was a kid, is 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. Do you know there's 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed? One falls off and bumps his head. Mother calls the doctor, and the doctor said, no more jumping on the bed. Which is immediately pretty bleak, isn't it? For a trained medical professional to turn up, take one look at the situation, not even attempt basic resuscitation, just, yeah, sorry, nothing I can do there. No more jumping on the bed, that's all I've got for you. Don't let the others jump on the bed. This one's screwed. The mother, exactly the same as the duck. She doesn't pay any attention. She lets her children carry on jumping on the bed. They fall off one by one. By the end of this song, all 5 monkeys have fallen off the bed and died. That bed, there's just a bed in the jungle surrounded by 5 twisted monkey baby cadavers in various states of decay. None of them come back. It's an horrific story. My daughter loves it, but I find it horrible. So when I sing it to her, I try to make it a little bit more realistic, because I don't think it's a very realistic song. So it goes, 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mother called the doctor and the doctor said, no more jumping on the bed. 4 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mother called the doctor and the doctor said, so, do you not remember what happened yesterday? Do you remember the advice I gave you? It was you. Well, it definitely was you, because I remember you had a bed. That was the unusual thing about the situation, is I came round, one of your monkey children had fallen off the bed and died, and surely you remember this, and I didn't really know what to say. There was nothing I could do, so it was just an embarrassing silence, so I just said no more jumping on the bed. I thought that was common sense. I didn't really need to be said, but, you know, I thought you would have taken that on board already with the death of your first monkey child. But now another monkey child is dead. That's 40% of your children have now died in bed-related disasters. So maybe you're suffering from grief, you haven't been able to take this in, but please listen to me. Please do not let any of your other children jump on the bed. That's all I can say. 3 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One falls off and bumps her head. Mother calls the doctor and the doctor said, what is wrong with you? This is the 3rd day in a row. You've rung me up exactly the same scenario. Another child is dead. 60% of them are now dead. Why do you keep calling me up to tell me? I've told you how to stop doing this. It's kind of weird and rude to ring me up to come and look at the exact same thing when I've given you the answer. Don't let them jump on the bed. That's all you have to do to stop this. I don't even know why you have a bed. You're in the jungle. You're a monkey. Just get rid of the bed. Throw the bed away. Your monkey children don't know how to jump on a bed. They know how to swing in vines. They can fall out of that. It's too close to the ground. They're not evolved. You've got 2 monkey children left. That's all you have now. You must look after them, cherish them for the sake of monkey Jesus. Keep your eye on those children. Don't let them out of your sight. But if I have to give you one piece of advice, there's only one thing for you to remember. Please remember it this time. Don't let either of those monkeys, I wouldn't even let them go on the bed. Just don't let them lie on the bed, because they might just jump up when you're not looking. Just keep them away from the bed. But if they get on the bed, make sure that neither of them jump on the bed. If you've got it, though, you've got it this time. You promise you got it. You understand. Oh, now you understand. You didn't get it before. Oh, that's fine. Good. Don't let them jump on the bed. 2 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One falls off and bumps his head. Mother calls the doctor and the doctor says, for fuck's sake, what is wrong with you? You've got 1 monkey child now. Then 4 of your children have been needlessly killed by your neglect at best. I think there's a close to murder here, the way you've let this happen. I know why do you keep doing the same thing? I know you're a monkey. You're not the cleverest animal in the jungle, but I'm a monkey. I became a doctor. I was 4 years at medical school. I was at human medical school as well. All the other doctors were humans. Do you know how much they mocked me? Turning up, oh, you're that's every day. I'm going to be a doctor. They thought they were better than me. They said, you'll never be a doctor. You're a monkey. I said, I'll show you who'll be a doctor. I became a doctor. I'm not a very good doctor. I don't know how to save any children that have fallen off beds, but I know how to stop it happening. Don't let them jump on the bed. You've got 1 child left. Please, for the love of God, look after the child. Just hold it in your arms. It's your 1 remaining child. Love it. Look into its eyes, and whatever you do, don't let it out of your sight. Just don't let it do anything. Just tie it up and hold on to it. And if it escapes from that, don't let it jump on the bed. Don't let it jump. That's all you have to remember. Don't let it jump on the bed. 1 little monkey jumping on the bed. It falls off and bumps his head. Mother calls the doctor, and the doctor says, I'm washing my hands of this. This is natural selection in process. I'm glad all your monkey children are dead, if I'm honest. None of them will get to adulthood and have their own monkey children who'll be equally stupid and jump on beds. I'm going to have you sent away. I think this is murder. I don't think there's any doubt in that you've done this on purpose in order to kill all your children. You're the worst monkey mother I've ever seen. You're going to prison for life for what you've done. And when you get to prison, I'm going to send you to the prison hospital where you'll be sterilised so you can never have any monkey children again. My daughter prefers the original version. I I think the nicest thing about having a baby, and the thing that makes me happiest, is the way it's brought my family and our family, my wife's family, together. And we're quite close anyway, but a new baby in the family really changes everything. This is the first baby on my side of the family for 24 years, so it's lovely that my parents are grandparents again late in life. It's lovely for all my nephews and nieces are all grown up. They've got a baby to play with who's their cousin. It's kind of nice. It's nicer for my wife's family. This is their first grandchild, and so they're understandably pleased as punch. They're very proud. They're chipping in, helping out, showing off about her. I'm delighted. They've been amazing. They've given us so much help, and it's been fantastic. But it can get a little bit much at times, as I'm sure you're aware. We went round for Sunday lunch the other day, and my mother-in-law had bought a new doormat. She hadn't told us about it. It was just there to surprise us as we walked in. This is I'll show you the doormat. Here it is. It says, "Grandchildren spoilt here." Yeah, it's quite sweet, isn't it? It's a lovely sentiment. I'm delighted that my daughter's surrounded by love. That's a nice thing. It's a little bit cloying. It's it's naff, but that's okay. It's lovely that grandparents are involved. Though it's slightly undermining to my parental authority. That's what I find annoying about it. If parenthood is a fascist dictatorship, which it is, then my in-laws have very much set themselves up as the resistance here, haven't they? They're undermining my authority. They're sort of saying to my daughter, "Don't worry, we'll give you the stuff that he doesn't let you have," So I laughed along with this as I went in, but I was furiously angry with my mother-in-law for buying this. I ate her food. I was angry with her as I ate it. She didn't tell her. Something was niggling me about this doormat, though, all through lunch. I couldn't put my finger on it. Then I suddenly realised what it was. It doesn't say grandchildren, does it? I reread it. Look, it's very clearly two separate words. It says grandchildren. There's a gap between there. This is actually a very different message than I originally interpreted it. What my in-laws are saying is that they will pamper any child who turns up at their house and acts in a superior or aloof manner. Which is a very different message than what I had originally thought. But that's actually more undermining, isn't it, than what we originally had. It's like they're trying to get my daughter, they're trying to make her rise above her station, leave behind her middle-class roots, and look down on us. She'll be upper class, all snooty. It's very upsetting. It's weird, isn't it, that our parents bring us up with a firm hand. They deny us all this stuff. And then when we have kids ourselves, they give them all the stuff that we're not allowed to have. So it is very annoying. But something was niggling me about this doormat. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I was furiously angry with my mother-in-law. But I was eating her food, but I didn't tell her about it. Then I realised there's something else wrong with this doormat. It says spoilt there, S-P-O-I-L-T. That's only used in that spelling as a past participle in the sense of damaged or harmed. It's, if you're going to pamper someone, it's S-P-O-I-L-E-D. So this is actually a very different message, isn't it, than I had originally interpreted. I misinterpreted it entirely. What this doormat is actually saying is haughty children will be harmed. Not just harmed, spoilt. I mean, presumably unable to function as children anymore, both physically and mentally damaged. Not dead, but unrecognisable. You'd look and go, what? Well, I can see you're alive, but what are you? You're just a strange puddle that vaguely human something in there, I don't know. Well, in a way, I applaud my in-laws' stand against conceited infants. I'm not sure that actually damaging them to that extent is try and talk them out of their haughtiness. Try and say, look, don't stop behaving in such an arrogant manner. However, they're sending out a very clear message to the children of Hertfordshire. If you come to our house, either act in a less supercilious fashion or cross this threshold at your own risk, because posh children will be hurt. I mean, this must be what the doormat means. This is a professionally produced, mass-produced doormat. This doormat factory is not just going to send these out willy-nilly without checking what they mean, are they? They must have a proofreading department at the doormat factory. Send that down to Clive in proofreading. He's on 100K a year proofreading all our doormats, making sure they make perfect grammatical sense. We poached him from Random House. He did War and Peace. He's amazing. Clive, is this all right? Yeah, probably. Can't be bothered to look at that, mate. It's 4 words long. I haven't got all day to look at that. It's got to be what they mean, otherwise they've got 3 of the 4 words on that mat wrong, which would be an impressive... It's technically 4, isn't it? Because it's not here, it's inside, so... Unless that doormat comes with some kind of trap-door mechanism that detects puerile pretension if you stand there, if you hold... Mama, I've fallen into a pit. I've been impaled on a spike. Why has this happened, Mama? This spike, it's so proletarian. I don't like it. Will you never learn, Quentin? I'm very annoyed about that doormat. It's awful that they're sending those out in this state. The worst thing about it is that it's in Comic Sans, which it does not seem an appropriate font for a message with such a dire import behind it. It's poorly aligned as well. They're £4 these doormats cost. Furiously angry about it, but I'm trying to work out why I was so unhappy in my 30s, and I think it's because I invested so much in my career. That was all that mattered to me, becoming a comedian, becoming the most successful comedian I could be. And in my 30s, things have been going quite well in my 20s, and then everything sort of started going a bit wrong. I wasn't doing quite as well. And I was looking at all the people around me who I'd started with, like Amanda Iannucci, Steve Coogan, Chris Morris, doing fantastically well. And I felt bitter and angry because I thought if I could become a famous, successful comedian, that would make me as happy as I could be. That's where I was aiming. And, I think a lot of us make this mistake. We sort of aim for something, think that will make us happy, but I'm not sure that fame is the answer. A lot of my friends who've got it are very miserable with it, so it's not necessarily going to happen. But I realised how stupid I was being about that, especially like looking at other people and feeling bitter about them. That's the stupidest thing you can do. Because you can always compare yourself to other people, and there'll always be someone doing better than you. It's about yourself. I went to see Jerry Seinfeld at the O2 Arena, and I've been invited unusually to the after-show party, which again rarely happens to me. And I was very excited about it because I might meet Jerry Seinfeld. All the most famous comedians in the country were at this after-show party, and I could sense as I walked in, them kind of looking around at me, going, "What's Richard Herring doing here? How did he get into the fame citadel? That is." Who let him in? Does that mean I've gone down a step or has he gone up a step? They were all kind of looking at me weirdly. And as I talked to them, none of them seemed happy about being at this amazing showbiz event. They seemed quite unhappy. Most of them were complaining about who were sitting in better seats or who had the best box or whose career was going the best. I realised every single one of them, even though they had what I thought I wanted, was looking up at the next person and feeling bitter about them. You can never stop doing it if you live your life like that. The only person in the entire place who looked happy was Ricky Gervais, who looked like a child who'd won a competition. But that's it. You're only competing with yourself. I'm not saying you have to sit back and accept your lot, but you can't start competing with other people because you'll never be happy. And you've got to look at yourself. And I look at myself and I go, hold on, actually, my career's going really, really well. Many comedians will look at me and envy what I've got. I have autonomy. I don't have that fame. And I think that fame would have destroyed me and ruined me. It means I wouldn't have the privacy and I can go out with my family without getting papped like David Mitchell does, which is awful for him. I'd be awful. I'd be married to Gemma Chan now. It would be just so shallow and it'd be awful. So I'm glad that I have that. So it's interesting. I think we look up at the next person. But when I was at school, we studied a book called Vanity Fair. It's by William Ringpeace Thackeray, and that joke doesn't fly really because I think the people who know what William Thackeray's middle name is don't like jokes about ring pieces. That's the problem with that. I like that joke, but no one else does. He wrote this book, Vanity Fair, and in it there's a character called Dobbin who spends his whole life chasing after this woman called Amelia, who's a class above him. She's not interested in him, but then finally her fortunes fall. She ends up marrying him. He realises it's a horrible thing to be married to her, and he realises the prize he set his heart on isn't worth the winning. And that's very much what I realised, that the fame that I've been chasing was shallow. You see all these guys, and it's like they're going to their friends at school. Look at me, I'm friends with Elton John now. What, he's a 70-year-old man. What's wrong with you? Where are your friends from school? And what about that, when he took out that injunction against the papers? That bit will probably get cut out, but maybe not by the time. In Vanity Fair, Thackeray says, which of us is happy in this world? Which of us has this desire, or having it is satisfied? Such a brilliant question, isn't it? The answer is Ricky Gervais. It's Ricky Gervais. Thackeray never lived to see the answer to his own riddle. And the thing with happiness is not something we can have all the time, right? It's an evolutionary thing guiding us towards certain kinds of behaviour. But if we're happy all the time, it wouldn't mean anything. But also, it's not something we can pursue. It's something that has to drift over us. It's a surprise. It's like a joke. It's something that can only surprise us. It can only be temporary. It can only be transitory. That's all we have. This is an odd way of explaining that, but I live in Shepherd's Bush in West London. A few years ago, I was walking down the road. I saw a young man jogging towards me wearing a T-shirt that I found quite offensive. And I'm sorry to have to say this in Cardiff because it's a classy town, but his T-shirt said, "Give me head till I'm dead." It's a very offensive T-shirt. No? I'm not racist. I hate racism. I deplore racism in all its forms. I didn't talk to the guy. I didn't hear him speaking. But I'm 100% certain that man was Australian. He just definitely was. It's not racist if it's true. Those are the rules. So, give me head till I'm dead. It's quite an upfront slogan, isn't it, to wear in T-shirt form. That man is essentially asking me, a complete stranger, to enter into a contract with him in which I will put his penis in my mouth perpetually from now until, I have to say, he was quite a fit-looking, healthy young bloke, until the point he actually physically expires. That could be 50 or 60 years of constant fellatio. I mean, that is a lot to ask based on a T-shirt, right? You have to think, that's a really funny T-shirt. He looks like a laugh. I'll suck him off till he's dead. Is it just me? I can't imagine after about 30 minutes that's going to be particularly pleasurable for either of us, is it? Because do you know what it's like when you're getting a blowjob, mate? You have, haven't you? I can see from your reaction. You've had one and you like it, don't you, you cheeky? Not offering to give you one, but no, it's all right. I like it as well. That's nice. That's nice. We found some common ground. We've got a hobby in common. That's nice. No, we both enjoy getting blowjobs. We should set up a club for men who enjoy getting blowjobs. Only men who enjoy getting blowjobs are allowed to join. That's the only people who are allowed in it. It's not necessarily a gay thing, though. It's just we meet up, have a couple of pints, discuss what it is we like about them. And then maybe at the end of the evening, we've had a couple of drinks. We just demonstrate our favourite techniques on each other. Not in a gay way, though. It's just an academic... Would you be up for that? Yeah? OK, great. That's good to know. It's nice, isn't it? It's a nice... When you're getting a blowjob, it's got a nice sensation that you kind of... You're happy as it's happening, aren't you? Basically, your internal monologue is, oh, what an enjoyable experience. What a strange thing for this person to choose to do, but I'm glad they've chosen to do it, because I am having quite the time. That's basically what's going through your head. But sometimes, right, when you've finished, so to speak, they carry on a little bit too long afterwards, don't they? They think they're being all sexy and sensual, but now you've come, it's kind of changed, hasn't it? It's a little bit sensitive now, isn't it? They're chomping away. It's slightly aggravating, isn't it? It's almost painful. And you can just get off and leave alone for 10 minutes, then come back and have another crack at it. You cock-hungry whore! I think I might just have rescued a relationship there. He tweeted me during the interview. He said, I'm having a bit of an issue with my partner. Is there any way you could slip this into a routine? I said, I've got a routine that'll segue quite nicely into as it happens. So it'd be aggravating. Surely also it'd be massively inconvenient for this bloke, wouldn't it? To live the rest of his life with a short, middle-class comedian kneeling in front of him at all times, his penis in my mouth, whether flaccid or erect, working away. I mean, it'd be very difficult for him to ever go jogging again, for example. I mean, it'd be embarrassing in social situations, wouldn't it? Family Christmas, I would say. I'd say that'd be an unwanted talking point. What gets me, it's so selfish, isn't it, girls? What a typical selfish man. Give me head till I'm dead. Just thinking about his own pleasure. If the T-shirt said, give me head once a day until I'm dead, that's realistic, then obviously after that, it's my turn to do you. That's just polite. That's a contract I can enter into. That's I'm getting something in return. Quid pro quo. This is just about me satisfying him. What about my needs? What about my knees, to be honest? And let's say this guy lives another 30 years. He's an old man. He falls seriously ill. He's in hospital, in a coma. He's not dead, is he? Contractually, by the terms of the T-shirt, I'm still obliged to be sucking away on his tiny old man acorn winky. It's nothing more than a flap of skin now, Cardiff. It's not recognisable as a human penis. It's a smegma-coated nubbin. That's what he's urinating freely in my mouth, going, oh, God, why did I go along with this? With the benefit of hindsight, I say this was the worst decision I've made in my life. I've certainly had time to woo my impetuosity. I don't know what I was thinking. It was such a funny T-shirt. Then I thought maybe I'm being unfair on this guy. Maybe he's suicidally depressed. Maybe the T-shirt's giving me head until I'm dead. He's worked out if you would receive constant fellatio, that would probably kill you pretty quickly. Wouldn't just the aggravation could bring on a heart attack or a stroke or something. It would get quite dry in there, wouldn't it? There'd be chafing, prone to infection. I think if you're constantly fellated, Cardiff, you would die pretty quickly just through a loss of nutrients. I think if you're constantly fellated, you would die within a month of a zinc deficiency. Whilst ironically, the person giving you head would die of a zinc overdose. It's like a bizarre suicide pact, isn't it? For me, Romeo and Juliet would have been better had it ended that way. I'm not saying I'm better than Shakespeare. I could not have written the rest of that play. It's amazing. But if Shakespeare were here, he'd hold up his hands. He'd say, Rich, you know, I think the zinc deficiency, zinc overdose, suicide pact, it's a more satisfying ending. Probably to all of my plays now I think about it. That could have been my signature motif. Then I thought maybe I'm being really unfair on this guy. Maybe he's making a philosophical point about the nature of pleasure. He's wearing a T-shirt saying, give me head till I'm dead. An idiot like you or I, sir. No offence, but you are an idiot, and so am I. Because we'd look at that and we go, well, I love getting head. Imagine if I got head all the time. I'd be as happy as it would be possible to be. Then we start thinking through the ramifications of the contract. It'd be annoying, aggravating, inconvenient, painful. It might kill us. In fact, part of the pleasure of the blowjob is surely that it doesn't happen all the time. It's this little unexpected treat that comes along every now and again. Will it ever happen again? I don't know. That's part of it. If it was your constant state, it wouldn't mean anything. That would just be normal. You wouldn't get any pleasure from it because that would just be how you would be. For pleasure to mean anything, there must be peaks of happiness, then troughs of no happiness, even pain. So then when the pleasure returns, we have something to compare it to. If you think about it, heaven is supposedly eternal bliss for the rest of all time. You're in one perpetual state. Perfect happiness. Imagine how annoying that would get. After just 200 or 300 years, you'd be, please, God, please let me feel something else other than perfect happiness just for a few seconds, just so I've got something to compare it to. My face is really aching. You'd look at the people in hell and you'd envy them, because even though they're in constant pain, they have the faint hope that one day they'll be released from the pain, experience some other emotion. You know for the rest of all time, you're in one perpetual state, perfect happiness. You realise too late that heaven is in fact a worse hell than hell itself. And in hindsight, I'm pretty certain that's why that guy was wearing that T-shirt to make that point. I misjudged him. He was a philosopher prince. He was the kind of bloke I would quite like to suck off. Until he was dead. So I think that's the mistake we make. We try and chase things rather than letting happiness descend on us. And happiness has to be something that comes out of nowhere. And, you know, having a baby, becoming a father, it has given me a kind of contentment that I hadn't had before. And I'd rather be a happy comedian than a successful comedian. I'd rather be both, but you can't have everything. And so it's lovely being a dad. I wish I'd done this years ago, but I'm glad that I didn't in some ways, but I feel foolish for doing it. With my daughter, I get on so well with her. She's like a little mini version of me. I feel like I've made a friend. I mean, literally made her. I didn't realise it was that easy. In my 30s, I was so lonely, I could just made friends to be with. You got to find one friend to start with, but once you've got that one friend, you can pump out about 15 of other friends, and they all have to do what you say. They're like normal friends. You're in charge of them. It's brilliant. When my baby was born, my mum bought me a book. I think she thought it would resonate with me. I think she was correct. It's a book by... it's this book. It's by Laurie Lee, who wrote Cider with Rosie. It's called The Firstborn. He became a dad late in life as well. He was 50 when he had his. He was 50 when he had his daughter, and I think my mum thought this would resonate with me. A little bit older than me, I think she thought, and she was right. I just want to read you the last couple of pages of this book because it sort of sums up better than I could how having my daughter in my life makes me feel. But who knows what my girl will be? She's only a few months old and surprised already, and I imagine I've got a lot more surprises coming. But in the end, I suppose, I just want to give her love and the assurance of a home on earth. This child was not born merely to extend my ego, nor even to give me unbroken pleasure, nor to provide me with a plaything to be fussed over, neglected, shown off, and then put away. She was born that I might give her a first foot in this world and might help her to want to live in it. She's here through me, and I'm responsible for her, and I'm not looking for any escape clauses there. Having a child alters the rights of every man. I don't expect to live as I did without her. I'm hers to be with and hope to be what she needs and know of no reason why I should ever desert her. I mean, that was brilliant. That just completely summed up what I was feeling about my girl. And this book was written in the 1960s. I couldn't help wondering, how did it turn out for Laurie Lee and his daughter? So I made the mistake of Googling that. And he's dead now, obviously. He lived till into his 80s, so he did see her grow up. She's in her 60s, 50s, 60s now. She's very unhappy. He didn't let her be who she wanted to be. He was a very controlling father. He was actually a very absent father. She's been in therapy trying to overcome the way he mistreated her mentally. She wasn't actually his firstborn child, like he claims. He'd already had a daughter illegitimately 20 years before, who ironically had his first granddaughter on the very same day that this daughter was born. So... Yeah, I don't know what that says about me and my daughter. I mean, I'm hoping I can be a better father than Laurie Lee, but that's the beauty of having a child. There's this hope. We don't know how things are going to turn out. You hope you'll be a great parent. You hope they'll be a good kid, but you don't know. And I'm going to do my best to be better. I'm going to be there for my daughter when she needs me, but I'm not going to control her. I'm going to let her be whoever she wants to be. I'm not going to live my life vicariously through her. She can do anything she wants, as long as she becomes a comedian. Obviously, I'm not going to let her go to school. I'm going to train her up at home just to become the sort of super comedian. Not even going to be allowed to mix with other kids. Then when she's about 20, I'm going to send her to the Edinburgh Fringe, where she'll win all the awards that I wasn't even nominated for. When she goes up to collect them, she'll go, "This is for my dad. He was the funniest comedian ever, and you're all cunts." And then all by one, the critics will come up and apologise to me and say that was correct. As long as that happens, she can do anything she wants. So I hope you all got a free programme at the beginning. That's a gift from me to you. What I'm doing, as usual, I make a collection for Scope, which is this fantastic charity that helps people with cerebral palsy. It's trying to get equal rights for people with disabilities. I've been working with them for 12 years, and you can see just from the way things are going for disabled people at the moment how much good my work has done over to there. I think disabled people are in a better state now than they have ever been, and that is all thanks. The state that disabled people are in and the way society regards them is all thanks to me. No, it's a terrible thing. So if you feel that programme's worth something, you'd like to donate to a fantastic cause, on your way out they'll be holding some buckets. Please give whatever you think the programme's worth. You don't have to give anything. I was in Swansea the other week, though, and the people there were so generous. When you think how little those people have. Seriously, they're just throwing everything they owned into the bucket. Some of them were throwing their own excrement into the bucket, but no, I think in their culture that is the highest compliment they can do. So you won't want to be beaten by Swansea. That is an important thing. And as I say, I'll be at the bar after the show. I'm very happy to say hello and sign your programmes. I have realised there is a place I can let myself go and forget myself and be happy. And tragically, it's here on stage. I love this job. It makes me happy. I can forget myself. I love making people laugh. But I think the reason it happens is because I allow the voice at the back of my head to come to the front and do the talking, and I can just relax. But because he's not there anymore. But it's sort of tragic that this, for a long time, has been my only place of happiness, that I haven't been happy in the real world. I'm kind of hoping that things are going to change now. I've got a family. I've got something to work for, at least if I am working. They say, family's more important than work. But if I don't work, my family will die. So it's not a very helpful thing to say. And it's nice to have someone to work for. And I think it is possible to be happy as an adult. I think it's possible, actually, to have those cornetto moments as a grown-up. But they're very fast and furious, and you have to grasp them when you can. When my daughter was about 3 months old, I've been looking after her for the whole day, which I don't do as much as I should. And anyone who says looking after a baby is easy is an idiot. It's just the most demanding thing. I'd bathed her, I'd finally got her into bed, I was giving her a nighttime bottle. Just suddenly this peace descended, this calm. She was sort of drifting in and out of sleep. I just was holding this tiny little creature in my arms. I just felt this amazing contentment. I could smell this honey shampoo in her hair. It was the most beautiful, perfect moment. Didn't even cross my mind to try and twist her head off. That's how happy I was. But even in that moment, it was perfect happiness. I was really happy. But even at that moment, the voice in my head was going, in a few months' time, you won't be able to do this anymore. She'll be too big. You'll look back at this moment and you'll envy yourself for the happiness you feel right now. I knew that was true. I knew that I wouldn't always have this. I knew I'd look back and envy it, and I didn't mind. I knew that I'd be able to hold on to that moment, remember it, and always get the warmth from it. It didn't matter that that moment was transitory. All that mattered was that I was happy now, in that moment. And that's all we can hope for happiness. It's a temporary thing. We've got to grasp it when it happens. If you are happy now, I hope that happiness will continue forever. Clearly it won't. Things will go wrong. So enjoy it. They always do. If you're unhappy, that is the first step in being happy. You have to have that unhappiness for your happiness to mean anything. So enjoy that unhappiness, because you will be happy one day. And then again, you'll be unhappy again. It all goes wrong. Usually at the end of the life, it turns really nasty. So enjoy these things. I really hope you've enjoyed tonight. I hope I've made you laugh. I hope I've made you happy. But to be honest, I don't care anymore. It doesn't matter to me. I've got my daughter now. All that matters to me is that I can make her laugh. So as long as I can make her laugh, I'm happy. So I've got about 3 more years before she outgrows me. Then I'll be returning to you lot for validation. But she's got a much better sense of humour than any of you. She gets me in a way that none of you have. I know some of you enjoyed this, but not as much as she enjoys me. She gets who I am, and so that's all that matters to me. I really appreciate you coming out, especially if you're a parent. I know how valuable just the time is coming out and giving your night to me. So thanks very much for coming. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you're happy now. Thank you very much. Good night.
you sing? Can you sing? Sing along with Daddy. Sing along with Daddy. Ding dong ding. Ding dong. Ding dong ding dong ding dong. Can you sing? Can you sing? Ding a dong a ding a dong a ding dong ding. Ding dong ding. Ding dong ding dong ding dong ding dong. Can you sing? Can you sing? Sing along with Daddy. Sing along with Daddy. Ding dong ding. Ding dong ding. Ooh.